Today's hymn is not technically an Advent hymn. It is not in the Advent section, but it comes immediately before the Advent section, so I decided it was close enough to share with you. Today's hymn is Glorious Things of Thee Are Spoken. It goes, glorious things of Thee are spoken, Zion, city of our God. God, whose words cannot be broken, form Thee for Thy blessed abode. On the rock of ages founded, what can shake Thy sure repose? When salvation's walls surrounded, Thou mayst smile at all Thy foes. It's a great tune, isn't it? It makes you just want to get up and cheer. It was written in 1775. And the tune was ancient, it was forever, but it got repurposed in the 1930s by the Nazi Party. And so it took on a different meaning. It became the anthem of their hatred and of their intolerant campaign. And it reminds us that things can change meaning, that things that once were valuable for us have become invaluable or even hurtful, that sometimes those things which brought us joy and pleasure can be turned into something that becomes a chore and no longer brings us those pleasures and those joys. It also reminds us that glorious things are indeed spoken of God. It reminds me of the words found in Isaiah 64. God, when you accomplish wonders beyond all our expectations, when you came down, mountains quaked before you. From ancient times, no one has heard, no ear has perceived, no eye has seen any God but you, who acts on behalf of those who wait for him. Sometimes we handle God too casually. I don't mean that we don't spend enough time or that we don't appreciate God for what God is. But sometimes we forget how majestic, how glorious God really is. That God created the earth, that even the mountains are afraid of God. They quake when God comes by. I don't mean afraid as scared, but afraid as in knowing their position, their proper relationship with God. And it reminds us that as much as people can promise us salvation, as much as items can promise us salvation, as much as we think the time changing or the calendar moving will promise us salvation, the only thing we can rely on for true salvation, for true freedom, is the one of whom glorious things are spoken. I invite you to click the link and listen to the entire hymn, to hear the complexity of the idea the theology is teaching us here. Glorious indeed. Glorious because of power, but glorious because of humbleness. We remember that God created all things and that God will see us through those things. That God is bigger than all of the things which hold us down. And we say, thank you, God. You are glorious.